Hello and welcome to today's session of the Dungeon Initiative. I hope you're all having a wonderful day today. We have the entire gang here ready to go. There's going to be, maybe, possibly, a mini kaiju battle. Could that be in the works? We will see. Everybody, does anybody have anything they want to announce real quick before I get to mine?
Oscar
I like
Mayer
turtles.
wieners.
Why are you obsessed with the Oscar Mayer wieners, man?
I don't know why. It's just a funny thing.
I'm telling you, man, he likes meat in his mouth.
If we can actually
Nothing
get
else
that,
to it.
if we can get that going as a thing,
Uh,
do you
I
think
was
they'll
gonna
give us
say
the Oscar
real.
Mayer like whistles?
I was gonna say real quick. I'm gonna like walk away from the phone, but I'm still gonna listen.
Yeah, no, I know. You're good.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to like deviate the attention elsewhere until everybody's seated fully. Otherwise, you guys are listening in, which is cool. All right. Rolling the die, rolling the die. Edward, would you like to do the recap? Okay.
I'm okay with getting the disadvantage.
All right. So it is what it is, I guess. But previously, the group witnessed.
I just don't like doing recaps. Like I always miss something. So.
You guys got to think about it like all week. You know, it's like the one homework assignment you get.
No.
Even if it's just for
Bro, I'm out of
yourself.
fucking school for
You
a
should
couple
be
years
you
now.
should be
Hell no.
recapping this stuff for yourself.
I already work at a college. I don't need to do homework.
No.
Real quick before we actually do begin, the giveaway is still going on my channel, so head on over to twitch.tv/FEEdge. Catch up with some Sea of Thieves adventuring with most of the people in this group currently, like Fenrir and Hugh. Fenrir is just a little bit newer, but he's catching on pretty quickly, so we're going to be seeing some awesome gameplay soon. But if you head on over to the Discord, you can take part of the scavenger hunt that we have going on, which gives you a double chance to win the prizes once we get that giveaway going. And there's a secret reward when you solve it, and I've decided that we're going to put in a digital copy of Dungeons & Dragons. So you get a little bit of everything, some piracy and some adventuring with the Dungeon Initiative. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and begin. On the previous session, the group witnessed a kaiju burrow out of the ground, face off against this giant metallic humanoid thing. One punched it basically and sent it down into the ground. Not out for the count though. You guys can feel the ground rumbling beneath your feet at times, as if this thing is getting ready to charge out at any moment. Meanwhile, LaFay is dealing with her own past traumas and maybe having to deal with the consequences of her past actions in the last year. Hugh forged his hammer, officially. What are you calling it
Okay,
now?
hammer time.
Did you name it?
I think it's the jet burner is what Fen had put it as. I gotta double check here quickly.
It's quote unquote the jet burner. Basically, it's the what is it? The furnace?
It's the furnace.
Yeah,
It's the furnace with the
jet burner
pulling it up
attachment.
right now.
Solid.
Yeah.
I just meant like that sounds like the
Chico.
manufacturing name, you know? So like that's the name it comes
Yeah.
with in the box. Did you like name her like Sheila or anything
Should
yet?
have called it the afterburner.
Yeah,
No.
solid.
The afterburner. I like that.
It ain't bad.
Okay.
Oh
Ain't bad.
shit, not good.
Let's see. Zoe decided to go through the tunnel leading back to the grove, and now finds herself in this kind of meditative state. I will call it, witnessing possible pasts and futures to come, witnessing the beginning of the battle between the heavens and the nine hells. Amongst that being Arzon and his fall to the earth. Fenrir decided to go after Hector and Asher, who were investigating the road and may have been taken captive by some soldiers. Fenrir, tracking them down, goes all the way back to Sweetwater, infiltrates the walls, meeting with the captain. I have a name here.
Cockmuncher.
This guy.
Adams.
Maybe I don't have it written down. What the fuck?
Wait, is that the same guy that had originally put me into like that submissive state or whatever with his like magical powers?
No, it's Adams. He has it. But for some reason, I don't have it written down.
Ooh, yes, papi.
But you went in knowing this person, having sent them to warn the lords about the incoming dangers, and he let you know that there is a rebellion within the town against the lords themselves as to the way they've been leading things and locking people out and not allowing them to even leave in the midst of this possible incoming catastrophe. You found them in their own home, kind of enjoying their morning, ignoring, what's going on outside of those walls, and discovering that they know a lot more about you and your group than was originally believed. Then, measuring swords, you guys collided, and you threw him through a wall, where he, after falling through, converted himself into his true form. The adult-sized Dragon Lord amasses what looks like a fireball in his mouth, and it's beginning to grow larger and larger.
Ugh.
Bum, 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 bum. I hate it, Effie. Every time you say
Fireball.
fireball, the first thing that comes into my head is that fucking song.
Waiting
Fireball,
for.
bum, 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 bum.
Did she leave?
So,
Oh.
the Dragon Lord unleashes this ball of fire.
You're doing stuff.
It soars
I
through,
just tasting quick.
illuminating the town as if the sun itself was flying over them, blinding the people below. And then when it collides into the center of the town, it explodes. You hear the cries of people as their homes are destroyed along with their small businesses and anything else within that 40-foot radius. The dragon turns its head towards you and says, "Let us have fun." And I'll need everyone to roll initiative.
We're not there.
Everyone.
We're not
That makes no sense, Effie. No one other than Fenrir's there. Fenrir, roll initiative.
Everyone roll initiative.
But LaFay can't.
I don't like this. Why am I rolling initiative when I'm not even near anything? I'm scared now. I got a 16.
I got a 7.
Something's wrong. I can feel it.
What was your roll, love? It should be on there, shouldn't it? Yeah.
This is gonna get crazy.
I don't like it. I'm scared. I'm scared, Daddy.
Huh?
I'm scared, Daddy. There are.
No? Is that when people talk?
Yeah.
They go, what?
Well, no one's talking.
Oh, like, is it only when like they talk, or is
Yeah,
it?
I noticed like there was like an echo coming from there.
Not too sure now.
Tell one of them to yell like a Jabberwocky.
One of you yell like a Jabberwocky.
Yes, tell one of them to do it to see if there's an echo.
Can somebody just start speaking nonsense?
You already do. You already do it all the time, Effie. I don't know why you need somebody else
This
to
is
do
odd.
it.
I don't know where I'm hearing it from. It's
You're
probably
hearing
your
an echo?
headphones, yeah.
Maybe it has to be coming from my headset because I have no other feed coming through.
Fireball.
Is yours on push to talk
Woody.
only? Then I don't know. It's probably just the headset.
That's rude, coward. You should just tell him to speak like a Jabberwocky.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and roll for LaFay here. Give her an initiative turn here. Fen, you got one?
I got 7.
Yeah, we gotta get owner in there. Should be everybody. Awesome. They actually clustered you guys up pretty well. No, like for real, like. Oh, this is fucked up.
They actually cluster you guys up pretty well. Oh, this is fucked up.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
There's like a whole section. Like, instead of putting the squads of stuff that I set up for the encounter in the correct manner, they like fucked it all up. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
That's what they all say, sonny.
The only thing left is Hugh floating in space.
He was floating in space.
Wherever.
Oh, I'll be right back.
Ona is currently with you, right, Edward, at the house?
Yeah.
I believe LaFay was there as well.
Yeah, LaFay, Riza, Hugh.
He was still outside by the forge last we
Yeah.
saw him. He had just finished his
There's the
weapon.
Zulu kids, or yeah, right, Zulu kids.
Yeah. Henry and forget the name of the other girl. I wrote it down. Going through notes again, trying to get rehashed with everything. It's beautiful. It's such a process. Gotta love it.
And then
Henry and Julie Zulu. If anybody wants to write that down real quick.
and then also Riza is spit roasting a piece of kaiju meat with the Night Night Knockers.
What was the names?
Yeah, didn't she say she wanted to try and eat it?
And Henry and who?
I think we did something with that meat already, right?
I just said that they were cooking it.
Yeah. I wrote the stats down for what it does.
What were the names again? Henry and what?
Henry and Julie.
Julie.
Oh, that's why. Okay, I put it down here.
That means Sam is in the house with us also.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I know that part. A bunch of the Night Knockers are there with you guys.
Edgar, I don't know if you went outside or if you're in the house.
It's mixed. It doesn't really matter. Main people here that are in this current order. You, Hugh, LaFay, and Ona. you guys notice that the sky starts to kind of turn a little bit darker, and the clouds turn like gray, like rain is about to come through. And Hugh, you're kind of like the first to see it coming as the rain like washes over the land, and finally like hits you and puts out the fire at your forge.
That's not good.
Edward, what are you doing?
Um, you said like the rain stuff just started right now.
Yeah.
Oh, at the moment, like Edward probably would have been like staring up at the statue at the base, at the top of the mountain and everything. Then, like, was it like sudden or was it like gradual?
So, here's the lake, right? Here's the house that you're in, facing north and up toward that mountain. That's where you're gonna see that statue. The rainwater kind of like started and like is washing over in that direction towards Sweetwater.
So it's just gradually coming toward us,
Yeah.
like a normal rain.
It's very sudden rain, but like yeah. Um, you're inside of the house currently. You got your movement speed. What are you doing?
I didn't know where it was.
How long has Fenrir and those other two been gone now?
Estimate time would probably be the way Fenrir moves.
They've been
on
gone
that.
for a year.
It's within like 20 minutes, almost 30 minutes now. It's a bit of a walk, usually 15 to 20 minutes. But the time that he took to get there was probably like half that time because he just bolted in that direction. And then like by the time he got in, there was a discussion between him and the other guy, which then turned into them creeping through the town.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get an estimate like how far the town is from this farm area.
15 to 20 minutes. Unless you guys like book it. But you also have the pod, so.
Who's in there with me?
Well, you got the knockers, but the most important like people here right now is going to be Ona and LaFay.
Alright, so I was kind of looking over at Owner. It's like, they should have been back by now, shouldn't they?
You looked at Ona and said that?
Yes, because LaFay is currently indisposed.
Oh, yeah. Ona like kind of thinks for a second, and she says, "Yeah, I think they went after Hector and Asher, or at least Fenrir did. Come to think of it, he hasn't come back either. Where's Hugh?"
I just look out the window where he was at.
From this perspective, you can't tell where he was at, and I don't think he knew where he went exactly. So it's up to you.
I know he's just somewhere here.
I'm gonna storm into the house all pissed off about the rain. Taking up my fire.
Is that going to be your movement for your upcoming turn?
Yep. Yeah,
like
that'll
you,
be my,
you see
my
Hugh
movement.
like trekking across like the middle of the field, doubling his movement so he can get to the house.
Hugh,
Bullshit fucking rain. What?
where's Fenrir?
I don't know. I thought he left. I can't remember. What am I, his fucking babysitter? No. Yeah. I start grumbling to myself about the rain still.
Alright, well, he's been gone for like half an hour now, so.
He's always gone. I don't know. He could be into town. He could be trying to find that beast or whatever that was on the side of the mountain or whatever it was. He could be anywhere.
Okay.
I mean,
I just want to say I love the comments Hugh does. It's ridiculous.
fucking bullshit cocks. I don't know. I'm not his fucking babysitter.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
I'm not his fucking baby.
As you guys are bickering amongst yourselves, again, like this would have been your movement then, all right, Hugh.
Yep.
Edward,
Yep.
are you moving out of the house or anything like that? Because as you guys are talking, the rain kind of like picks up with some wind, and you kind of feel like the house like shudders a little bit.
I'll kind of step out toward the porch then, and kind of sniff around. Is there anything weird?
I mean, like it smells like a storm is brewing up. And are you looking? Which direction are you kind of looking in?
Just wherever the porch is facing.
There's nothing magical about it. It just
I don't know. You're asking me.
it feels
like, what you do.
unnatural, but like it smells wet.
Oh man, it's sudden rain. It's wet.
It's wet.
I mean, plus the rain would have like
So how about
gotten
this?
rid of like
I'll do
any
this.
sense.
So, like with the rain and the wind picking up, you go outside and you kind of look around and you notice like the cloud movement is kind of drifting towards Sweetwater. And when you kind of turn your head and look in that direction, you notice that way off, like again, you're looking past the trees, so you mostly just see the sky itself. But you see it gets darker and darker the closer it gets to Sweetwater, and the clouds above it are kind of beginning to swirl. A little bit of lightning, for effect.
Okay. Oh, so another quick question. Since Sweetwater's apparently only 15 minutes away, when we have heard gunshots from last session?
From the gate?
Yeah.
Echoing off? Yeah, probably.
And how long ago would that have been since the gunshots?
Maybe just a few minutes ago, man.
Okay.
Like,
Sorry, I just need to know this information.
Like you didn't ask. now that it's like coming up, it's like, oh well, nobody ever brought that up.
I didn't have a chance
We're
to
all
ask.
deaf.
Get your perception up.
Can't hear shit. We're all deaf.
You're all deaf, all of you. I mean, you're hitting metal,
What
and
was
they're over there
that? I don't
cooking. Zoe's in a cave.
I'd spit roasting that meat also.
They were, like they've brought it in at this point. It's just Eddard standing there, like one of those like television like shots where the camera zooms in over them. He's just like,
Just water splashing everywhere. My clothes are soaked. Muscles glistening. No, I'm just kidding.
What muscles?
damn.
I can't really think of much else to do right now, so.
All right, so as this is
So I
happening,
think that was my full movement just to step out of the house.
it would be LaFay, like there, like I just she comes out. What is going on, Eddard?
First of all, that's not how I sound like.
What is going on, Eddard?
Yeah, I'm back.
Come on, that was funny. Okay, yeah. So technically, it would be like this. This would be your turn, like moving out. If you want to move out with Eddard, see what's going on, or he just walked into the house soaking wet with his new hammer.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow Eddard.
All right. Yep. Outside, you do see the landscape and how it's getting darker, and the lightning strikes in the distance become a little more prominent. You guys kind of get the sense that this is turning into a hurricane. Y'all should see Eddard's face right now. Jesse and Sandy, like they're. You just went.
I was just like reacting to what you're saying, just like, oh.
Jesse and Sandy, they quickly grab a couple of things out of the pod and like rush inside of the house as well. Edgar, like at the doorway, is just like, perhaps it's not safe to stand outside.
You said I noticed the house creaking.
Yeah, like every time the wind kind of blows, it's like the natural like, you know.
I'm not sure how long this house is going to hold either. Doesn't seem safe either way, man.
No, the Zulu kids be like, nah, it's sturdy.
The wall falls.
The wall falls. My dad taught me how to make houses. It's his proficiency bonuses. But yeah, But it's technically LaFay's turn now. What's going on? What's in your head, zombie? Okay, she probably wants to take a shower.
I think she already got out of the shower, didn't she?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, sorry.
You're good. You're good. I wasn't sure
I
if you were
can
still there or
smell
not.
them.
But yeah, you're outside with
There's-
Eddard in the storm. But if we're gonna move on from there, uh,
There's a shitstorm a brewing. I can smell it. The winds of shit are in the air.
Absolutely.
within the town,
I can
the
smell them.
the red dragon kind of like cackles and like revels in the disaster he's causing. People suffering and running around. Soldiers, human soldiers, end up actually like fleeing from him, seeing him for the first time within their town. The ones who stand unmoved, you notice, Fenrir, are the ones in the heavier plated armors and stuff like that. This seems to be like normal to them. While all of this is starting to kind of stir within the town, Zoe, we cut to your perspective, and it's almost like the stars beneath your feet kind of begin to kind of assemble into a pool of water, and it forms what looks like you're looking down at the town. And what you see is the side of the estate, and looking out through the blasted hole, you see that Fenrir is there standing next to a captain, and another mysterious figure that, with your sight of him, they seem to kind of be glowing yellow. But you also notice that Fen seems to kind of be glowing as well. And you also see the dragon that it looks like he's about to face. The one thing that really sticks out here is that Fenrir is by himself. And it is your turn.
He'll be okay.
What do you do, Zoe?
She's kind of staring at the image that she's seeing underneath her and then rub at her temples. Why does he always do this?
He's your friend. Huh?
I can't
The one.
disagree with that. But normally he should be smart enough to know that he shouldn't be on his own.
Perhaps it's pride that took him there.
So like Fenrir.
This is one of those moments where you'll be tested on your patience. Whatever happens next could be difficult. Will you accept the outcome and continue your training? Or will you go to your friend's aid and risk never coming again?
She's gonna stand there looking at the image of Fenrir and her ears are gonna flatten slightly. I'll stay here and witness it.
You get advantage on your next wisdom save. So make note of that. And as you both kind of settle in to watch the scene, you Fenrir, the other lord is still there next to you. And he kind of like just checks his nails, looks at you, then looks over at the captain and he says, I didn't say anything about you yet. And he takes out a sword and readies himself to fight the captain. Holding that position. Hold on. Along the borders of the mansion, Fenrir, you see that the mages are like taking position on different corners, kind of like supporting the Lord, who responds to them and says, "Stand back and let me fry the worm." And let's see, yeah. Everything is like screens in front of my face right now. Panel, 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 panel. the knowledge, all the things that he sees. Let's
You can climb those vine ropes, can't you? Oh, that's cool.
Fenrir.
Yes.
Let's see. The Lord of the North lashes forth, kind of like extending his head in your direction, and he's going to take a snap at you. .22 to hit.
Actually, just misses.
Perfection. Following up, he kind of like shifts up, stands on his hind legs, and like slashes at you with one of his claws. It's gonna come in. .34 to hit on that one.
Hit.
And then a 24 to hit on the next one.
24 does hit.
.27 points of slashing damage.
Lagging there. Hang on. That was weird. Okay. Seems they have updated the HP system on the D&D Beyond app.
You good?
I heal myself for 999. That's the new maximum they have added. Instead of 99 points, it's now up to 999 points.
Only dog can hit you that hard.
It's 0.
Hits you so hard it does no damage.
You just don't exist.
You don't even get an afterlife.
It's one of those things where it's just like you stand there, alright, let's go! And then it's just white around you.
You're at the pearly gates of heaven. Wait, where?
Sir,
wait.
I'm just reaching for my. Well, he's reaching for a gun.
That one bartender that squared up with you. Alright, let's go!
I'm thirsty. I'm tired, boss. I'm tired,
one-
boss. I want to
That
go
one
home.
platoon of soldiers that fucked with Ona. No, they're in hell.
I'll send you.
It's just Taylor Swift down there.
I'm tired, Dad. Well, that's too damn bad.
You keep digging!
I'm tired, Grandpa.
In
Well, that's
hell-
too damn bad.
In hell, you dig, but there is no treasure.
Oh God, the endless supply of leeches and worms and grubs.
Alright,
At least I get a
is it-
tasty treat.
the slashing damage went through, I assume, and then like you probably had like some sort of resistance
Yes.
to it as well, correct?
Yeah.
Solid.
The last thing I did was rage.
Gotcha. That's gonna be it for now. From this perspective, Fen, this thing is kind of blocking your vision, but just kind of off right of it. You can see past towards the ocean, past the docks and stuff, that there's a ship, a pair of ships actually currently sailing out, right? And
Yeah.
from this perspective, you see as something like metallic and on fire leaps out, grabs the mast and shreds it and lands back in the water.
He kind of like looks at and after slashing at Fenrir, the red dragon's just like looking down at him. He kind of sees like Fenrir like lean a little bit to the left, kind of peering around the back of him. The fuck was that?
It is now your turn.
Wow.
Yeah, the Lord North doesn't seem like he gives a fuck what's going on behind him. He's smiling as best as a dragon could smile right now.
Okay.
Toothless?
Fenrir looks back at Adams.
He looks back at what? I'm sorry.
He looks back at Adams. Try to stay alive, okay?
Don't worry. I didn't make it this far just being a pansy.
Are you sure about that?
I hate you, bro.
Oh,
I mean, if this guy's anything like the other one, I mean.
Shut up. Other people are playing D&D.
Fenrir kind of like kicks off the ground, doing a jump through the air to try and take his 3 attacks at the red dragon there.
Oh, he's gonna do the video game move.
The aerial combo, you know.
Yeah, you know, like the old arcade games when it's like a big monster. You'll hit like from the top, and as you fall, you hit down the middle. And as you hit, you know.
Yeah.
He's gonna do one of those like
Hadouken.
anime style.
I think that's the
Acrobatics.
acrobatics, though.
That's a 25.
What acrobatics? No, it's okay.
for attack.
He doesn't have to do the acrobatics for that. He's just leaping.
Yeah, I'm not doing a fancy
25
spinning
does
triple
hit.
kick.
Yeah, that's what I picture. It's just like this muscular mass.
He does the Liu Kang stuff.
Yeah.
That's a 30 second attack.
How much was it?
30 on the second attack.
To hit? Yes, that hits.
And 20 on the third attack.
Does not hit.
Okay. First 2 attacks hit. It's going to be 19 points. Hang on. Where's that? I don't think it's a D8. I think it's a D8. D8. Okay. That's 19 points of slashing damage and 1 point of lightning damage on the first attack. $18 points of slashing damage on the second attack and 6 points of lightning damage.
Lightning, you said?
Lightning damage, yes.
Okay. And the first one was what kind of damage?
Slashing.
Yeah, you do slash into him, and like your lightning crackles, but it seems like it just fizzes off of his tough exterior.
Okay.
A little more taunting there, you know. Laughing and cackling. You got another move on you?
Do I even have bonus actions? Actually, no. Yeah, it is. That would be a considered bonus. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. I'll make another attack with the claws.
All right.
25 again.
25 hits.
That's another 19 points of slashing damage. Two points of lightning damage.
All right. You come in with your claws after you land on the ground, slash into his side. When you make the impact, the claws dig through, but the lightning crackles and sizzles away. It doesn't seem like it's doing too much on him. He looks at you and he's just like, "You're giving me tickles. Are you trying to help my health or something?"
On that last attack, could I do a shove for like a contested strength check?
Sure. So is it a save?
I think that would be my athletics versus a strength save or something.
Okay. 26.
23. That does not beat it.
So like you go in to do this shove and he just like pushes back against you. It's almost like just impacting a rock. And he's just like, "Poor Fenrir, able to lift anything, but today he's finally hit that wall."
Fenrir kind of like backs up looking at him. I mean, at this point, I just need to try harder, don't I?
"Oh, please, bring it!" And we cut back over to Ona, who is like looking over at Eddard like, "We can't just leave him. Zoe's missing too, and now Fenrir? Something just isn't right." And it would be Eddard's turn now. She's gonna go when you go. Like she'll move where you go.
Where are the Zulu kids, Jesse and Sandy?
Currently, everybody's bunkered down in the newer house. The older house, there's like a panel that kind of breaks off the roof, and you kind of see it fly off into the sky somewhere.
Chops a bird in half.
Chops a bird in half.
The random guy walking
No,
by.
it's like
It's Salazar, the guy that owns the turnip cart.
no, it's just like
Gone.
you just see like the family of birds, just like we have to keep moving, kids. Everything's gonna be fine. Just stick close behind me, Daddy. How much longer till we get out of this storm? This is horrible. You just gotta have faith in me, Dad. Dad.
Why is it go so dark?
What the?
It's the new start to a Pixar movie called Finding Land.
Oh my god.
Finding Dad.
Finding Dad.
Yeah, Finding Land.
He's gone. He said he'd be right back. He never came back.
It's like a Land Before Time moment.
Fuck Nemo.
Oh man.
Fuck Nemo.
Y'all say
Find
I'm
Dad,
dark.
bro.
Remember our childhood movies? Those were messed up.
Bro,
Yeah.
I know. Simba, you killed your dad. Huh?
I still remember when people tried to
What?
show me Happy Treehouse Friends. I was like, this is nonsense.
Oh my
Happy
god,
what?
dude, that is brutal. Happy Treehouse Friends is so fucking brutal.
If you don't know, don't worry about
It's
it.
like a kid style animation,
Huh?
and it's just like murder.
Alright. So, yeah, Eddard, what are you doing?
Does it seem like the Zulu kids are like prepping anything, or are they just sitting there?
Right now, they're kind of like helping everybody like bunker everything down. So what they're doing is they're taking like cushions and stuff and putting them against the windows, and some of the night knockers are like bunkered up against the walls, and kind of like finding like secure places to kind of settle. Yeah, the kids don't seem scared. In fact, they look like they've dealt with something like this before.
Yeah.
But their biggest reaction being is like,
I'm just trying to gauge like how they're reacting depending if this house is even safe right now at all.
so from what you can tell, this house being newer than the old one has more structural resilience than the other.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out.
So if you're concerned about the winds being so powerful it's going to lift the house or anything like that, it doesn't seem like it's creaking to the point where it's like moving it. It's just that natural wind and like noises of the wood and stuff like that kind of like making.
Okay. Where's the pot at again?
It's like parked right in front of that house. It's just standing there looking cool.
Hey, Jesse.
The Dodge logo on the front.
No.
Jesse turns around, wiping his hands.
It's instead of a Dodge logo, it's a Minotaur head.
It's a Minotaur head.
Jesse.
It's called Torah.
Jesse, it's time to cook.
Jesse, we have to cook.
But yeah, Jesse's inside the house at this point, having brought the stuff in from the pod. But he hears you and he's just like, "Yeah, what's up?"
You said that they can detach into different sections, right?
It can, but it's a little windy. I've never tested it in conditions like this. The pod itself should be fine. It's got enough speed to cut through this wind.
Okay, I'm just trying to make sure, like, if anything goes wrong, you guys can fly out of here.
What are you gonna do?
Oh. I'll just kind of signal over LaFay and Hugh if they're not even, doing anything. I don't know what they're doing.
Just
Oh,
give
no,
a
like,
thumbs up. I don't even need to know what you're gonna say. I just know thumbs up.
this is what I mean by all of you in the initiative ended up perfect, because you're all right next to each other. So like if you travel together, it's perfect.
We go running through the rain. There goes my hero.
Yeah, no, like
I need a hero.
A dwarf.
yeah, assuming you guys are all moving
I'm
together.
holding up for a door.
LaFay and Hugh, you can use your movement and stuff to interact with Edard and wherever he decides to do, and you guys can move as a unit together.
We're an absolute unit. My absolute unit comes into play here now.
But I'm gonna leave this decision up to you. You want to come?
She's like only half listening. She only heard when you said when you had like started to talk to Jesse and called him over. She was already like packing her stuff, and she comes out of the house like this. let's go. And she hops into the pod.
Weren't there two other people here?
There was Wave and Maurice. So Wave, Maurice, the Zulu Kids, the Night Night Knockers, Sam, including Sam and Edgar. Am I missing anybody? Riza.
She's on house arrest.
That's everyone. All right, yes, I'm just signaling LaFay, Hugh, and then Ona, I guess, is coming with. Yeah, I think that's it. And I'll just kind of let Sam know, just like, keep an eye on them. Anything goes wrong, get the kids on the pod and go.
Edgar like steps between Sam and you and kind of goes, "I'll take care of them." Sam.
Will of Ed is strong in us. No, I'm just kidding.
Sam.
Got that dog in me.
Did you hear what he said? He said the will of Ed is strong in us.
I'm just joking, man.
No, that was funny. So I assume LaFay and Hugh, you're gonna go along with Edward.
Yeah.
Yes, of
Ona,
course.
Ona hopped into the pod, by the way. If she's in there, like, let's go.
I mean, was I even told how to detach anything from there?
Huh?
Was I told how to detach anything from the pod? 'Cause I literally just said anything goes wrong for them to take the pod, then leave.
Ona didn't hear any of that.
She don't
She
know.
just grabbed her
She
stuff
don't know.
and she was ready to go.
All right, no, I'm gonna leave that for them. Just kind of pick her up out of the pod.
Wait, so how are we gonna get there? We have to get there fast, right?
Again, is there a way to detach it?
What to
That's literally what I asked
do this
earlier.
No, so he'd explained that. Like, he doesn't know if, like, the detachment in the winds is gonna fuck it up. Like, he hasn't tested that.
I'm not talking about we in the air when we detach, but I'm detaching it right there.
Good. That's what Jesse was saying. There's not a chance that it's gonna fly that well. But as a whole, it'll fly.
I mean,
Yeah,
That's literally what
I
he
kind of
said.
look down at my hammer. I'm gonna look at my hammer and be like, well,
That's
I
what-
mean, we could try this. As I slap it.
Can it even carry that many people? And for that
I
distance?
mean, here, let me just turn it to max real quick, and we can see from then. I don't know how stable it is, but I mean, it's
Are you
worth
talking
a shot.
hammer or using it to propel the pod?
No, he's trying to use it to propel you guys through the air. Which is cool in concept, but, you know, now that you're trying to add more people.
In practice.
I don't know if you're going to get the
Wait,
results
how many
you're
of us
looking
is
for.
there again? 4 in total?
Yeah.
Actually, fuck it, I have a faster way.
Oh, have you been to Sweetwater?
Wolf form.
Into his wolf form?
Dire wolf form.
Okay. Okay. I mean, the options are there.
I'm
The
thinking, like, I
NPC
can technically carry up to 3 people, I think, in that form.
Am I the only one who thinks the NPC going, the pod would be faster, is just another offer on the table? That's it.
Yeah, but you also have people here with a monster that's digging underground.
Fair enough. Fair enough. She's just
Now,
saying.
what's more of a threat, a dragon or a monster?
We're about to find out.
The monster is
Yeah,
actually, in size, that monster is way bigger.
So you're telling me is that we should stay for the monster. Let Fen try and duke it out against the dragon. Noted.
It's all up to you guys, really.
But
The world is
do
your
they know
oyster.
I'm
I'm just putting the pieces there for you guys to interact with them. Otherwise, improvising something new.
Alright, so out of character. Who wants to take the pod?
So just to confirm, the pod is going to the city, right?
Yeah, we'll be going in Sweetwater in it.
I can take pod.
Okay.
LaFay chimed in, guys.
Well. Yeah, I
I
heard.
said I can. Yeah.
Hello. Well, Eddie boy, should we stay and fight this giant ass leech-looking thing?
Well, we don't know where that thing's at. It's underground right now. So, like, what I'm pretty much asking
Yeah,
is, like, if you guys want to take the pod to go to Sweetwater, or in dire wolf form, and leave the pod for them to use.
Well, I feel like we need to stay here in case that thing pops up.
You chose the dive off kit.
Only God will predict what I do.
Fuck it, we're hopping in the pod. Come on. Efren is very pushing for the pod. I'm kidding, dude. Chill.
As much as
get-
I'd like to
Pod
fight a
gets struck by
dragon, I
lightning, you
shall
all
do the
die.
holy sacrifice. I shall do the holy sacrifice, and I shall wait for this thing to pop up, and I shall fight it. I shall stay.
Is that what you guys are gonna do?
That's what I'm doing.
Did you toss a coin for this?
For what? Me staying? No.
Make a wisdom save.
Who?
You.
Why you gotta make... Why? Why wisdom saving throws, bro?
Because the DM isn't the only character that knows what's in your mind.
I got a 3.
Yes, I am.
It's God. DM is God, not a character.
He's a character. You feel the guilt wash over you as Ona looks up at you and says, "Please come help us. We really need your help." And she takes your hand and pulls you onto the pod.
The rain looking like more tears than what she's actually giving.
Out of the pod or into the pod?
Into the pod, right next to her.
Okay, good. But what about the kids?
Edard starts the pod.
So, what was the problem with detaching? Is that it won't be stable?
He doesn't. So, right now, the way the pod is built, it's pretty strong. You can maybe like fly through it without going too high. Because, like, let's say that you're playing around with the pod right now. You're flying up, right? And you notice the wind kind of change and fuck up the, the stability. So you got to drop down a little lower. I'm trying to use physics here. Shut the fuck up.
No, I get it, but what's the shape of this thing? Is it like
this? Or
It
A
looks like
UFO?
it looks like a car. It's got
Like the
the
Star Wars
shaped
one
body
from
of a car.
A New Hope or whatever.
Kinda, yeah. Like I describe it as a DeLorean,
Yeah.
but with no roof.
No, it's Luke's speeder.
like, attached or not? It's still gonna like flip in the air or something if something goes wrong.
He was just concerned about the stability of it coming apart in the wind. That is all. If you want to detach it, go for it. I was just saying, I gotta pee.
Did you hear that? He's got a... Okay.
Alright, so Eddar's gonna hand Hugh the ring of the portals, the sling ring,
Okay.
and he's gonna open a portal to Sweetwater.
So, Hugh, taking the ring and kind of getting some instruction from Eddard, you raise it to kind of open the portal. And when you go to do this, it's almost like it sparks in front of you and it fizzles out, preventing you from opening a portal there.
God damn it. I'm gonna whack it. Whack it against my hand. Fucking work, you son of a bitch!
Right.
And then you remembered it worked for Fenrir, not you.
This is stupid. How do you make it work? Do I just have to think of the place? Do I gotta think of a woman? Like how does this...
You have to have been there.
I've been to Sweetwater multiple times.
Do I know any of the specifics about this ring to get it to work? I can't remember.
You specifically understand that you've never seen it do that before.
Just fizzle out
Yeah,
before doing anything.
Normally, like the ring will have like a bit of a glow through it, and then it'll magically open that portal, right? And then when he went to do it, it's like the magic just returned back to the ring and just rejected it.
Like something blocking it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's because I'm a dwarf, isn't it? This is a racist ring.
I don't know, it might be. I'm gonna bring back and just like, okay, we're just gonna take the pod, okay? Come on.
Fine. Fucking garbage. Fucking stupid, man.
You guys can walk there.
Too late, we're on the pod. We've gone too far as it starts lifting up.
That's what Hull did.
You can just turn around. No, we've gone too far.
So time distance, usually 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes on horseback. You guys are cutting it like within 5 to 6 minutes. So seeing that, let's go.
I love the pod sounding like that. That's canon.
A weemboy, a weemboy, a weemboy. It's got a wobble to it.
That's Hugh playing with the radio on it. A wee moe, a wee moe, a wee.
I'm playing with the the audio sound, just pulling it up and down. A weemboy, a weemboy.
Zoe, we come to your turn, and you're basically witnessing most of what's happening with Fenrir currently. And then further down from where you're looking, you see that there's like a little blue light kind of moving and zipping in that direction. And the one, he says, "Oh, that's a strange looking star. Where are they going?"
Literally cross her arms. If I only had a guess, it's probably the others.
Zoe, do you believe you and your friends are the only ones facing a situation like this one?
I do not.
Well, your friends fight this battle here, connected to all of the great picture. There are many others like you, fighting across the lands of the world. So brave, strong, resilient. Time is running short, and there's so much for you to learn. Shall we linger here? And he turns away from the vision that you're seeing of Sweetwater, and he kind of looks behind him, and there looks to be like another doorway. And he says, "Shall we take another walk?" And it's up to you.
Oh, she's gonna look back at she's gonna look back towards where she could see Fenrir, and she's gonna close her eyes as she just like sounds like a small prayer, basically. Like, I wish you well. And then she looks towards him and nodded. We shall.
He holds out his hand for you.
She lightly places her hand in his.
Like, when you take his hand, it's like this warmth washes over you, kind of similar to the power you feel whenever you cast a radiant ability. And as they pass you through the doorway, you find yourself on almost like a deserted beach, except for the crashed ship nearby. There's seagulls above you guys, and one moment the one is there with you, and the next he's gone, and you are alone on the beach. What do you do?
Zoe's gonna go ahead and look around.
You gonna head towards the wreckage, or are you gonna head further inland on the island?
Towards the wreckage.
So the closer you get to the wreckage, you start to hear like voices in the distance. It sounds like people playing and arguing and just having personal discussions, or that or the other. As you kind of move past the wreckage, you look out and you see that there is a band of people, adventurers. Some of them look like they sail at sea. Different races between a what's it called? Or like a kobold running around on the beach. There are a couple of stronger looking creatures or beings. They kind of remind you of Fenrir. Getting closer to the group, they can't see you, just as before. But off by a lone rock, you see that there is a lone adventurer sitting and meditating. There's a girl not too far who seems to be watching him. But he pays her no mind. And while in this state, his head stirs, and he turns and he looks straight at you. Who are you?
Be looking at him, and she's just going to smile gently as she slightly like bows a bit. I'm Zoe.
Where are you from?
Just say a different world.
A different world. So I'm traveling through planes right now? Is that what this is? He kind of looks off into the sky. There's no one else there now. It's just suddenly you and him there. And he's looking around. Is this what you had meant to show me? Others like me. How did you come to be here?
If only I really knew. She's gonna look back towards the wreckage. What brings you out here?
It's kind of hard to explain. I feel like we've been here for months, but let's just say, well, where I come from, there's an entire place of people like us, and our home was taken from us. We're trying to figure out how to get back home. My name's Hayden.
Maybe I.
Wait a second. Hayden? Next thing you're going to tell me is Shreya's here.
You cut out.
Or he said Hayden. Oh, next thing you're going to say is Shreya's here.
Shreya was there.
What?
She was the one stalking him.
Yeah, that was the girl that was beside him.
So that means the other two people that you saw was Oscar.
Oh god, I didn't pick that up at all. I'm sitting here, I'm like, and then I hear, my name's Hayden. I clued in. I was like, wait a second. Did he just do what I think he just did? Bravo, Effie, bravo.
Thank you.
Technically, this group would be really south of where we are.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a like a time clip from whenever he was meditating. I was always playing with the concept of him connecting to not just Zoe or the initiative specifically, but him being able to connect to a multitude of other people who are heroes. All on the same timeline, essentially.
The champions.
Yeah. Up above you, Fen.
I haven't the courtroom of gods.
Huh?
I haven't forgotten about the courtroom of
Oh,
gods.
yeah. That one's always on my mind. I got major notes for all that stuff. But above you, Fen, inside of the mansion, you hear a explosion from the room you were just in, followed by a cry of pain. And the Dragon Lord sniffs the air and says, "Oh, the smell of blood always makes me excited. Doesn't it make you excited, my friend?" And with that, he's gonna go ahead and make another couple attacks at you, Fenrir. Uh, 25 to hit on that one.
One does hit.
That one's coming in for a bite. That's 2d10 numbers, dice, stuff.
Numbers.
I'm like missing dice, I know it. It's like one of my worst feelings. There it is. Uh, 22 points of piercing damage. Followed by 4 points of necrotic damage.
Tasty.
As he bites into you and you get that spike of damage specifically, there is like a flash of like a black smoke and an eye at its center that almost focuses in on you. But before you have a moment to really think about it, he swings at you with his claw attack. 31 to hit.
31 or 21?
31.
Hits.
$26 on this next one. 2 hits.
That's it.
That is a hit.
Yeah, 26? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and then that's gonna be. $35 points of slashing damage on that one.
Kind of getting hit a few times there. He reels back a little bit, then looks at the dragon. What was that?
There are many things you and your friends have been blind to for too long. Now your ignorance will catch up before you even have a chance to do a thing to stop the days to come. And I need you to make a wisdom save.
Oh, jeez. $10.
So with that, he says this, and you feel like this weight kind of start to kind of build up on you. Do you have any resistances to being frightened?
Yeah.
So yeah, you feel like this urge,
Actually.
like this feeling, like kind of building inside of you as this creature, taunts and instigates you.
What the hell is that?
The hell? What the hell? You think you can come up down here and attack me? I will send you to Jesus. It's my favorite. I will send you to Jesus. No shit given. He'll just send
Fenrir
you.
kind of, yeah.
What was that?
Fenrir kind of just a little bit. He kind of looks up at the dragon. Any more tricks you want to use?
I have plenty, my friend.
This just sounds like you're relying on them a little too much.
There is a commotion of the crowd surrounding the town, right? People in the streets running, fleeing, and trying to get away, maybe suffering from the flames and the damage that he just caused. The winds kind of kick up in this area specifically above you guys, the rain pouring down heavy. The dragon, like, menacingly looking down at you, kind of, like, tilts his head up a little bit and, like, looks over his shoulder and kind of, like, looks in the direction of where you saw that ship go down. And he shakes his head. Oh, it's going to be one of those days. And it's now your turn.
While he's doing that, I'm going to make my three initial attacks.
Yeah,
Trying to catch him off guard.
Yeah.
That's not going to hit. 24.
24 just hits.
Cool. 31.
Mm-hmm.
And 26.
26 hits.
Cool. And 15. $51 points of slashing damage and 13 points of lightning damage, all in total.
Yeah, you strike into him and like you nail him a couple of times. And I think by standing next to him, you're probably like hitting into like his arms and stuff, right? Like maybe like slashing at his chest.
I'm trying to like hit for the chest, aim for like places that would seem soft.
Yeah. You're hitting those critical points, and like every time the lightning sizzles, he kind of like giggles with it, and like, stop it, just like. But yeah, like the lightning is ineffective as far as you can tell. And then 3 attacks. You got another one for me?
Uh, I'm actually going to use my bonus action to second wind.
Solid.
Jesus. All right. Got that 10 on a 10.
10 HP back.
I rolled a 10 on my
On your health, I saw.
second wind.
Yeah, I saw that. All right, and that's your turn.
Yep, that's going to be my turn.
All right, let's see.
It would be back at the top, right?
It would be, except at the end of your turn, he like whips around and he flings his tail in your direction. 32 to hit with a tail attack.
Yeah, that's going to hit.
That's
Okay.
gonna be
Boy, don't look at me like that.
He's like, why did you do it? Why did you go? 23 points of bludgeoning damage. And then you need to make a dexterity saving throw.
$16.
So as you get hit, it smacks you with the tail and it actually sends you flying back 20 feet into the air, knocking you effectively over the fence of the estate.
Jesus.
No fall damage. You're kind of bulky. I think you can like land that superhero landing style and slide a little bit for effect. And then surrounding you, you see some of the soldiers like confused. They don't know what to do. As this dragon like lifts his head up, the normal like guards like turn, dropping their weapons, and just take off running. But as they try to make it like into the town, right, like where the walls are and stuff, some of the knights like grab one of the guys, lift him into the air, and like crush his windpipe and throw him on the ground. And as they kind of like start to kind of close in on you, you realize that the knights in cahoots with the or loyal to this dragon lord, they're kind of like closing in that area around the estate. One of the cobalt golems, maybe close to around 80 feet away from you, it's like turning and like centering its attention on your location. And the dragon lord says, "All alone, what made you think to come here was a wise decision? Can't you see that your efforts are meaningless? Would have been so simple to just join the cause. Don't you think, Fenrir?"
Yeah. That would have made it simple, wouldn't it?
One more time, you cut out.
That would have made it simple, wouldn't it?
Oh, of course, less of a headache. But after I'm done with you, I'm gonna have to deal with the people here. Probably kill them all at this point, and just start a whole new town. Hell, maybe this will be the reign of the dragons again. All the cliche titles you want to give in the books, you know. So squaring off there in the district, we cut back to the pod. Flying through the air. Ona didn't keep like a lock on you or anything, Hugh. It was just more like persuasion to get you on. So it's now that this spell that she put over you just drops, and the wind whipping in your face and the rain hitting you, you realize that you're on the pod.
I don't know. I feel like it was an attack against me. Didn't want me to stay. Don't like me getting separated.
Ona's just looking at you like this.
Mm-hmm.
Here, you should wear these goggles.
Why?
Sure enough, like the water starts hitting your eyeballs, and you take 10 points of piercing damage.
Jesus Christ!
It's gonna be our reaction when people say, "Why? Why is this happening?" It's like because it's damaging you.
It's not even rain, it's just
You should wear your You should have your napkin around your neck. Why? Your neck starts falling off.
It's just really thin, like
Oh, no.
sheets of metal.
You're turning to ice.
Goes through the engine.
Yeah, you guys are zipping through the air, and as you guys are traveling together, again, you guys can dialogue between. There's not too much to do here as you're fast approaching. I
Yeah,
think,
'cause we have like 5 minutes before we get there, right?
yeah, a little bit of time here.
Yeah, we're not.
Shut up, bruh. We're trying to keep the spirit alive, you know. Upon the approach, you guys notice that the town, it's almost engulfed in this like storm cloud. Whatever seems to be going on is causing quite the stir. There's like every once in a while below, you guys can see that there's actually like people running in the open, trying to take cover like with trees and stuff like that, and tilting their carts again in places to kind of take cover underneath. It's turning into a complete mess below you guys. As this approach happens, look, instead of like putting all the soldier NPCs in like clusters for me, it's separated all of them. So now I have to like click next to get to the fucking point. Oh, there's over like 3 dozen. The idea being that they cover different parts
No, I get it.
of the town. So if you guys are to swarm that part of the town,
I
I'm ready.
understand.
You mad? We cut to Zoe, still within this connection you have now. It feels real. You can taste the salt air. This conversation with this other person is happening. What do you do?
So she's gonna like what was the word? She's gonna kneel down and be like right beside him. Mean that you're trying to find your way home.
It's hard to explain. Even I'm still trying to find the answers. One of the people we travel with, he was one of my teachers. Sort of, I guess. Not really a teacher. More like a mentor. Doesn't matter. Point is, he's been trying to find a way back home because a little while ago, some sort of creature, a demon, I think, they did something and it completely destroyed our school, sending it off in different directions. Later, we found out that it was.
How did the demon look?
Huh?
How did the demon look?
Can you describe it again, Fed?
He went to the kitchen.
Yeah, I mean, like big colossal demon.
Yeah,
it's been so long. I'm paraphrasing off of like memory because it's been so long since we touched on this demon.
You're fine.
Yeah, no, like he just goes on to
Oh,
describe like
there
what
he
sounds like a generic demon.
a generic demon.
I mean, if anything, go on now. I heard the laughter and that. Oh, he's cooking right now, so here I
Yeah.
am.
No, just the description of the demon that you had for our campaign.
Oh,
The devil,
okay.
demon. It's one of those.
He would be a devil. A little
Yeah.
stronger than demon.
Yeah. But yeah, Hayden goes on to say that they just showed up out of nowhere. We fought a couple of them, but this one in particular just keeps coming back. Later, we found out they had nothing to do with the breakage, and it was actually one of our headmasters, like a failsafe to protect it. But since then, we've been stuck on this beach, and he like kind of looks around, kind of wondering when we're gonna do something.
He looks up at DM Fenrir.
Looks at DM Fenrir.
Stop looking at me.
You're in purgatory.
Don't look at me. I did nothing wrong right now.
No.
Like I said, I need to come up with a whole thing for that. Actually, now that I think about it, because we left on that cliffhanger.
We did. It was quite a while back. I don't even remember what the cliffhanger was. But playing as if that session did exist, I'm trying to play it into part of the lore here also. He kind of shakes his head and says that. What do you do? What do you say?
I feel like we're doing the same thing.
Your home got smashed into smithereens and sent across the multiverse?
More of we're fighting a demon that never seems to die.
I have a feeling like we're not on different worlds. Like we're somehow connected. Like this whole thing, like no one's gonna believe me. I don't even think Isfahan's gonna believe a thing I say about this. But there's a reason it happened, and I'm gonna figure out why. And when I do, I think we're gonna see each other again.
I will wait for that day to come.
How was that funny?
Because I remember Isvon like heavily.
Yeah, it's because Istvan was mentioned.
Did you notice that, like, with the one, I kept doing interesting? I was doing the interesting voice. I had to adopt it, I'm sorry.
Meanwhile, Istvan's staring at the one from a bush. I see you. I know you're there.
I know you're there.
Why are you spying on them?
Yeah. Yeah, no, Hayden seems optimistic. He's got a big smile on his face, and like in this moment, like you're maybe not 100% sure what it all means, right? But you do have a feeling that like he's right with what he says, that this is all happening for a purpose and a greater picture, and you guys will see each other again.
Don't ever give up.
I don't think it's in me to give up. Me and my mom made it a long way on our own, and when I started this journey, I didn't really look back. When I get back home, she's gonna be proud of me.
She's gonna look up at the sky. That's what I feel from my parents.
Are they around?
They died when I was young.
I never knew my dad.
I actually heard that.
I didn't even hear it,
Dun,
so
dun, dun.
I didn't hear what he said, so I don't know.
Look at
He
twist.
said it's our song.
Oh no.
Oh my God, Hayden's Rosemary's Baby.
Oh god, no.
I mean, with that attitude, it makes sense.
All right, so from there, the two of you are kind of like, spending this time with one another, right? And we get like
Yep.
a nice little zoom out as you guys catch up. And we're gonna go ahead and cut back to the town of Sweetwater. Another explosion from inside of the mansion. Fen, you look back behind the Dragon Lord, and you see that like the top of the house kind of collapses down on this hit, and from there you can't tell or see what's going on as the rubble and the dust picks up along with the rain pouring around behind him, and the Lord North like shakes his head. Ooh, I don't think it's going that well for your friend back there. And
Well,
Mhm.
if I die and he's dead, I'll see him again in the afterlife.
Dang.
So ready to accept death, even at the expense of your own friends?
No, he fought well, if anything.
Unlike you, I will kill you now. And he lunges forth and he goes in for a bite attack on you again. That one is going to be a 25.
That hits.
That's for the bite. 8. 14 points of piercing damage. And then 10 necrotic off of that bite. 30 on the claw attack. Or to hit with the claw attack. And
How much was that?
A 30 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
And then a 16 will not hit. So that's going to be a fail on that one. So that hit's going to come in. 2d6. 16 points of slashing damage on that one.
Bad.
The Cobalt Golem that's off in the middle of the district kind of starts to move in your direction, closing the gap. And then we go over to your turn.
So the dragon's on this side of the wall now, right?
So like if the house is behind it, the fencing, he's like climbed over all that. And now he's like out in the middle of the district, wide open space, buildings around you guys. It's more than 100 feet of room to work with here.
Then we're kind of looking over at the golem, and then looks back at the dragon. It's a shame your toys are going to interfere with this.
They won't. They may play cleanup work if I do fall this day. After all, someone needs to keep the work going.
I guess I guess I gotta beat you up pretty quickly then, huh?
You're not moving fast enough. Your mouth is, however.
Maybe you should stop nibbling, and I'm gonna take my 3 attacks. It's 27.
Hit.
26.
Hit.
Another 26.
Solid. 3 hits.
That'll be 48 points of slashing damage and 13 points of lightning damage.
Same old tricks. You keep slashing my armor, but it's not making too much of a gash now, is it? Here, hit the next spot. Like, kind of offering you, like, 1 point where you've hit already. He's like, oh, that was a little deeper that time. Come on, Fenrir. Show me your beast.
I'm gonna punch on the last attack, kind of like if he does he like tauntingly get closer to me with his face.
Like, his head is up, you know, like, in the air, like, standing, what, like, 40 feet tall, these things? I mean, like,
Okay.
it's not close enough where you could just swing it. You'd have to, like, leap into the air and really try to hit him, you know?
Okay. I'm assuming that would come with a acrobatics.
Yeah, an acrobatics check to kind of see if you can close that gap in time before he, like, just ducks away.
Let's see what happens.
Uh,
That's a 20. That's a 21 on that acrobatics.
Oh, acrobatics? Yeah, you close the gap.
All right, and that's a 28 on the hit.
28 hits.
That's gonna be right on his nose. Wow, that's max damage. Okay. That's max damage. So that's gonna be 21 bludgeoning and then 8 lightning damage.
All right, you know, you get the taunt, you leap up, he sees you, smack him in the face, land back down on the ground. He, like, sniffles, and he's just like, you triggered my allergies.
This is getting somewhere.
Let's see. And that's your turn.
That'll be it for now.
The mages kind of move, like, over behind him, like, kind of standing, like, 40 to 50 feet away on top of, like, the corners of the fence. Just kind of watching over the fight as it goes on. Let's see. Cut back to the group, still flying over. Each round is
wait,
what?
can I get
Each round is 6 seconds.
6 seconds? Does it, like, change per, like squads of people and stuff like that? To compensate time?
No,
Literally each
it
rotation
literally
we throw
everything.
off during the 6 seconds. That's why I'm saying, like, we're not going to get there in time if it's going to be 5 minutes to get there.
It can get worse too. That's the thing. Only been like 24 seconds so far. Oh, Jesus.
It's 10 rounds for a minute.
Zoe.
I mean, you could do like a whole thing for
No.
maybe buffet or something.
No, nothing's coming to mind right now. Like, even like doing Zoe stuff is gonna kind of slow down now, so we can like focus the fight. And I'm counting the
That's
seconds
perfectly
too.
fine.
So I mean, like, depending on what Fen decides to do in the next few rounds, or how he decides to tackle that, you guys are traveling, and all of this, everything that Zoe's going through is happening. Like, and there's stuff that we haven't even shown Zoe, right? That you've gone through, right? That we haven't even caught up yet. So like again later we gotta sit down and do that. But essentially your brain is being filled with information. This is just like a fraction of a second of that time that you're like within this state, right? While they're with Hayden, kind of like enjoying this peacefulness of the beach and everything, there's another like shimmer to your side, and you see that the doorway's there again, and the one is waiting by that door. Hayden looks over and he sees it, and he kind of stands up, and he's just like bewildered, looks at you, and he's just, "It's time for you to go, isn't it?"
It is. But I know we'll see each other again.
Of course. He like holds his hand out to shake yours, and when you do take it, he smiles, and he's like, "It was really nice meeting you."
And it was a pleasure to meet you as well.
Take care. And as he kind of steps back, watching you, go towards the doorway, the one looks at you, tilting their head, and he says, "Did you get their name at least?"
Hayden.
Oh, good name. Shall we?
It is for a cute boy.
Shall we go, Zoe?
We shall.
This will get rather intense, but know that I am there with you. Are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
He like puts his hand on the small of your back and slowly pushes you through. And as you pass through this doorway, you feel like the air get real heavy suddenly, and it's like feels like it should be real hot in this area. Right? Like you have that feeling. To you, this is normal temperatures. And as you're looking around, you see that it's almost like you're in this red cave, right? Almost like like those mounds of clay that you'll see in some places. And at the center of this cave, you see that there is what looks like a makeshift cradle. It's just kind of like a basin. And inside, when you approach, you see that there's that young child you saw from before. And not even a few seconds after approaching them, there's like a scuffle, and you see some shadows along the wall approaching, and people arguing and fighting, and when they come into view, you see that they are two devilish creatures, including the female one that you saw before. She grabs her whip, ties it around their neck, and begins to choke them as they kind of reach forth towards the child. And the child, still being a toddler, kind of stares and watches as this happens, and the Aranus pulls and squeezes tight, and she says, "You will not harm him. Don't care what he said!" Snaps his neck. And as the devil falls dead to the ground, the Aranus tosses her whip aside, looks around, and then approaches the spot where you're standing, coming over to the young child and caressing their head and looking them over. "I won't let them kill you. You will be the greatest warlord Osmodeus has ever seen. You will make me proud." And she kisses their forehead, and the baby coos and seems happy. But as the mother lifts them onto her shoulder, it's almost like the child locks eyes with you, Zoe. And I need you to make a wisdom save.
Do it with advantage.
The funny thing is I rolled a 27. And that was my first roll.
Try to get a nat 20.
$26.
Go with the 27. You still
Oh,
pass.
damn.
You feel like this child connect into your mind, and you hear a voice say, "Who are you? You're not supposed to be here. Why? Why are you looking at this memory, this sign of weakness?" And before the voice has a chance to try to push you more into giving answers, you feel like that warmth return, and the voice drowns out, and it's just the baby with its mother now. And as she goes to carry him out of the room, the one stands next to you and says, "Do you know who that is?"
I do. Unfortunately.
Do you know why he is so important? Why I'm showing you this?
Cause of a lot of misery that I've seen.
True. But he is not the only one to have caused misery. The one fallen on the floor there was once considered a good general. Beaten by Arzon's mother, an Aranus of the Nine Hells. Her story is as interesting as his, along with the threads of fate that they will come to connect. Let us walk with them. See what we can learn. And the one continues after the Aranus, who coos and coddles her baby. Back in the town, Fenrir engaged with the dragon. The weather not faring any better. You hear another explosion from the building, and metal flies right next to you. It seems to kind of be burning still. The metal glowing almost a white hot color. And you realize that Captain Adams has been cooked alive. And behind him, the dragon, you see the Lord of the East approaching, kind of looking down at the body. Such a pity. Falling the way he did. He was brave. Most of them have a brave twinkle in their eye, but not Not quite the strength needed to overcome the adversity that we propose. Have you not finished him yet? And the red dragon says, we're getting to that part. You need to deal with the other problem. And lightning crackles in the sky above, and sure enough, off in the distance, there's like a loud roar that echoes towards the city, or echoes towards the town. And Lord East kind of turns and starts to walk off in that direction.
Can I react to that?
He's about 70 feet from where you're standing currently.
You said there was a piece of white hot metal next to me, right?
So essentially, the metal, like the armor that Adams had on, like you saw it like a chunk of metal, but when it landed, you realized that it was just his heap of body and his remains.
Is his shield still there?
No. Not even the sword. It looks like he was disarmed and completely beaten.
Fenrir looks at Adams. He thought, well, but the Lord of the East walking away from being my second challenger seems kind of cheeky, doesn't it?
Trust me. He's doing us both a favor.
Sounds like you're scared of something.
More irritated. A problem I thought we squandered. And by the mansion, again, pouring rain and all the debris and the smoke going on, you hear like like a cracking noise, and then a large snake-like dragon lifts itself into the air and seems to kind of snake its way up into the clouds. At the end of that turn, Fen, a nat 20 to strike with the tail.
Can I use my inspiration to make you re-roll that with disadvantage?
Your inspiration for that, or is there an ability you're using?
Nope, that's inspiration.
You can use inspiration to give me disadvantage. Yeah, I haven't either.
Let me check.
Not
No, never mind.
necessarily, no. If you had like an imposed disadvantage ability or something like that, then yes. And then if like they had succeeded, I would say yeah, go ahead and use your disadvantage. That doesn't seem to be the case here.
Do I have any? No. Other than the fact that I would have to use another thing of rage, probably. No, I don't have anything to counter that. Go for it.
"46 points of bludgeoning damage as the tail knocks into you, and then you need to make a dexterity save."
Okay.
21 passes. So he hits you with the tail, you get the damage, but you don't get lifted off the ground. There is a soldier off in the corner that gets lifted up just from the air. Just goes flying. Let's see. So seeing that you're resilient, he's going to go ahead and try to bite you again. I'm going to bite you. 22 to hit. I believe that just misses.
That misses.
And then followed up with the claws. That will also miss. Nice. That will not. 26. 30 to hit on that last one.
That hits.
13 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
If you want to make a attack of opportunity, the dragon lifts its wings up and kind of gives a hop into the air. Not necessarily taking off, but just to kind of like build some range. And now he's currently up 30 feet in the air. Are you gonna take your attack?
Yes. That's a 32.
Solid. Smack him.
Can I on that attack also grapple his tail
Contested.
against the 32?
34. So he does manage to break free of that grip.
All right. So the damage is 19 points of slashing damage, 7 points of lightning damage.
Yeah, you grab the tail, but he like pulls it along with him. You do like scratch him up quite a bit as he takes off into the air. Turns and he's like, "Ooh, another tickle. How dare you grab my tail?" Off in the distance, there's more sounds of dragons. This time you can kind of distinguishedly tell the difference that there are two different like creatures out there battling one another. The Cobalt Goblin has stopped its advance, and now it's your turn.
Before moving forward, Fenrir's like he's standing there seeing these massive creatures and remembering back onto the amount of rage he felt when he shifted after seeing the giants get incinerated. If I can control that, I might actually have an upper hand in this fight. But how to trigger it?
Use the SWAT.
Looking around, how close would I have to? Well, is there any objects that I can like run off of?
Not to get you that close. He's standing like in the middle of the district, or flying in the middle of the district, which is kind of away from most of the structured buildings. You'd have to like jump like maybe 3 times what you normally would to get to that height.
Well, that's convenient. That'll be the only time I ever actually, I think, use this.
What's cool? Useless ability becomes useful.
Basically.
away.
Okay. Yeah, I'm literally just gonna jump 30 feet into the air.
Okay.
Also, it's ready. And I guess make my aerial combo happen again. Ugh. Sorry. So that's 2 natural 20s.
Solid.
That's hot, don't touch it. And the other one's a 31.
Yeah, I saw that. All 3 hit. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect.
One second as I prepare dinner.
He tells me it's ready, and then he still has to prepare it into a bowl.
It's ready, but you can't touch it because it's hot. Um.
Hmm.
Hmm.
You can have the steak.
You don't like it?
Mm-mm. That's weird.
Total damage yet?
Here it comes. Let's see, that's gonna be 19 plus the 18 is 37. I'm at a normal attack. I think I put them in equally. I think I put them in equally. So that's 85. That's 85 points of slashing damage and 23 points of lightning damage.
Alright. As you slash into him with this attack, you notice that on the final strike, you take a good chunk of plating off of him, and his eyes kind of like bulge open as like a searing amount of pain goes through it. Blood pooling down with you as you like descend down toward the ground. No, no, you've done it.
Fenrir just kind of like looks up with the dragon blood kind of covering his skin, face, and upper body area.
Yeah, it's like
Looks up at him.
you got splashed with the initial blood, and then like as you hit the ground, it just rains on you. Cinematic as
Just
fuck.
just looking up at him. I told you I'd hit harder, wouldn't I?
Are you, is that your turn?
That'll have to be my turn, yeah.
So, saying that to him, he beats his wings just a little more, rising up another 20 feet. And then his mouth opens wide, and you see the ball beginning to form. And he just launches that down straight at you.
I'm gonna stand firm.
You need to make a dexterity saving throw. Jesus.
That's 22.
You save, so you will be taking half the damage. As the blast impacts, that's going to be 85 points of fire damage. So half of that, you're looking at 43. That's rounding up.
So the success was 43 points.
Yeah. That's the
Okay,
that's
cool.
that's me putting it at half. Total was 85
Okay.
fire, and then 53 bludgeoning damage. So you're only gonna take half of that. So 27.
After the fire clears there from the initial attack, Fenrir's still kind of standing there, a bit singed and bleeding a bit more from the bludgeoning damage. But he kind of like looks back up at the dragon and goes, "You know, I know somebody whose fire is hotter than yours."
Oh, you haven't seen how hot I can burn yet, boy. Let's see. The kobold is actually gonna take some damage here too. Yeah, part of the blast radius did catch the kobold golem, and you see that it got impacted pretty well, but it's still standing pretty strong, within 30 feet of you, kind of like it's on standby right now. Let me go from your turn, top of the order. The group is still zooming in the air. From this distance, Eddard, LaFay, Hugh, and Ona, you guys can see like above the town of Sweetwater that there are some shadows like moving in the air, and every time they collide, there's like a spark of fire that erupts in the distance, kind of lighting the sky up, not just with the blues of the lightning, but the fire, the attacks that are happening above in the air. Still 4 minutes away, approximately.
I think we're 4.5 minutes right now. Dun, 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 dun.
Out of here. It'd be like that, guys. From there, I'm gonna go. Zoe, we're gonna go ahead and move past you and go right back to Fen here. Actually, not Fen yet.
Okay.
It goes to the dragon. Kind of like assessing its situation. Annoyed with your mockeries, Fen. You hear him kind of say, "Blessed be my father's name, that I inherited his power, his strength, and his connection to you. Hear me as I call for your strength now, mighty Lord Arzan." And as he's saying this, you can kind of make out, like again, him being in the air, it almost looks like smoke starts to kind of come off of him. And then it completely overcomes his body with the green flame that bursts out of him. And in its place, you see that his skin, his scales have been turned to like a charcoal black, and his form is changing, and it seems like he's going through like a pain as this happens to him. And when at last he breaks out of it, his eyes are no longer this orange and yellowish color. They're now like a green and red. And as he like snaps out of it, shakes his head, and turns down to look at you, he goes, "Now you will know how fire burns." And he's gonna like drop straight down and land in front of you. The wounds that you had inflicted look like they have healed over.
That's not fair.
He kind of like, you hear him like rumble in his chest. "You come to my home, start all the trouble with you and your friends, and now you speak of fairness. When you're so close to death, all of you say the silliest of things. Is this truly going to be your last words?" And as we...
I thought we were having a friendly 1v1.
and then it's your turn.
Hearing Arzan's name get kind of spoken in front of him, he does kind of get agitated by that. And he's going to run forward and lash out.
Alright. Seeing you kind of coming at him, he just kind of like raises his head and readies himself for your flurry of blows. I know.
23.
I still call it a flurry of blows because that's what he's doing. When you attack more than once, it's a flurry to me. Shut up. What is it again? 23?
23 on the first one.
23 does not hit.
30.
30 does hit.
And that one doesn't hit.
Ooh. Your strength is leaving you. You're getting slower. What is the challenge you pose me? A lord of the Sweetwaters.
19 points of slashing damage and 5 points of lightning damage.
You're tickling me again, boy. Did you bring a challenge or not? So from there, is that your turn, Fen?
Yeah, Fenrir on those last attacks, he's going to be like considering his next approach. and he kind of tries to, I guess, trigger the mantle. He like tries to see the arena again.
I think we were working those in with wisdom checks, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Go ahead and try to make your connection.
Johnny?
23?
Mm-hmm. But that was also a natural 20 on that. I was not expecting that to be off rip.
Instead of seeing the stadium itself or any of the typical elders that surround it, right? Instead, you see like a almost like a it almost looks like a hole in the wall, right? And from the
Mm-hmm.
structure and some of the works that have gone into it, you almost feel like it's a prison. And you're looking into it, and you can see this bestial creature just kind of looking up at you, and you can feel its rage, you can feel its power, you can feel this connection you have to it. What do you do?
Put you away last time. But this time I might need you. Understand your strength. And understand the power that comes with it. But we have to be on the same page.
The creature staring back at you, eye to eye, leans its head forward and like presses it onto the bars.
Fenrir puts his hand out to touch its head.
As you make this connection, you break out of this vision, and it's just the Lord of the North in his dragon form staring at you. He kind of looks at the way you're fuming, and there seems to be steam coming off of your body, and he just smiles. There it is. The moment we've been waiting for, isn't it? Let me see the beast. And go ahead and describe the transformation.
Plumes of steam and hot air kind of shoot from his body. But then, as it leaves his body, it starts to freeze and create a great glacier before him. Kind of roughly about the same size as him. And from the glacier, a beast kind of breaks free, howling, breaking out of the ice, freezing some of the buildings around the ground that he stands on, creating small, broken, frozen totems around, just snow and ice. The rain itself starts to freeze as it comes down around him as well.
Oh, chilly.
And the eyes look forward at this dragon.
Come now.
You're just a step.
Say it again.
He looks forward at this dragon.
Mm-hmm.
You're just a stepping stone.
The dragon snarls its teeth, glaring at you, wanting nothing else but to have you dead right now. As the two beasts lock eyes and ready to battle. I have a quick question. It's almost 11. Typically we're off by 12. I was thinking of taking a break here. Or we can cut the session tonight and we pick up next Sunday. And that's mostly for people who are pretty quiet, and I know that like your turns have been kind of stale. And I do have ideas of how to like, you know, pick up the pace a little bit, or at least give you guys something to do. But there are also people who need to be off by 12. So, are we okay with continuing for like the next hour? Take a quick break, and then come back.
Yeah, I'm okay with this.
All right. Let's take a 10-minute break instead of a 15 to 20, and we'll be right back. LaFay, you still with us? All right, be right back. here. Alright, welcome back, guys. I know we're going to take a short break here, but we got together and we decided that we're going to go ahead and end the stream here tonight with Fenrir hulking out, essentially, and about to fight the Lord of the North Dragon. There's a lot more pieces that are going to be falling in place with this, and I do want the rest of the group to kind of catch up, so that way it's not just Fenrir in the situation, we can get everybody in on the action. Otherwise, even if we pick up next session, it's still going to be the group traveling, no matter what happens to Fen during this fight in the next hour, whether he wins, loses, gets captured, enslaved, whatever. I don't know. Anything can happen, but I would rather the group have a little bit of a speed up to kind of catch up and get in on stuff.
Like when we get there, we see him in the slave layout.
Yeah, we see him in the slave layout outfit.
Oh god.
But we're gonna go ahead and pick this up next Sunday. Do we have any quick questions before I end the stream?
No. No question.
Sunday yet?
Yeah,
Is it Sunday yet?
Closer than you think, guys.
Shut the
Closer than you think. All right, we're gonna go ahead and end right here.